Hi, I'm Libby Gibson, Town Manager. Welcome to What's Going On in Town Government. We had a pretty long meeting this week, but we had a lot of things that we did, and I think we got through them pretty well. A lot of good discussion by the board. So we had some announcements. We're doing initiated by the chair, Jason Bridges, we're doing what's called our Remember campaign. Once a month, a memorial is acknowledged, and we give a little history about it, and if anybody has any comments about it. Yeah, it's really nice. So we did two this week. We did Wilkes Square, which is actually more like Wilkes Triangle, down there by the Legion and the Candle Street substation, right in that area there. And we had a little history lesson about it. And we did...
Well, what was it? Do you remember a little bit about it?
Do you?
Yeah. Well, the guy was got the Purple Heart. He was in World War II.
Yep, and he went to...
he was a youngster.
He was a youngster. Guy. Leroy...
Yep, he was... And
Wilkes.
he had
another
gave
name.
his life in...
And they had a picture of him when he went to high school here.
Yeah, that was very cool.
It was really interesting.
That's awesome. I love knowing that. I never knew that, so it's good.
I knew it, but I had forgotten it.
Oh, okay.
Jimmy Duart has a memorial at the corner of Myacomet Road and Surfside. It's a little bench there, a nice little tree, and a memorial plaque. He was a longtime public works employee, one of the foremen for quite a while, and so that was really nice too.
Does his son work for the town?
His son does work for the town.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy, before I became the town manager person, he was so supportive, and when I got appointed, he came to me, he sought me out, and he gave me this really, really sweet card saying congratulations, and he was very proud, and anyway, it was really, really nice, and I've kept that card ever since.
That's nice.
Anyway, we did that, and that's nice. So if people have ideas about memorials that they would like to have acknowledged, like this, email Jason. His email is on the town website, nantucket-ma.gov, and he'll get it on the agenda. We had some other announcements. The town departments involved that are the most involved in 4th of July, including police, fire, public works, culture, and tourism, each gave a little report about the 4th and how it all went. We have a coastal...
What did you think of it? I wasn't here.
You weren't here? Oh, for the 4th of July, you weren't here.
I heard that the fireworks were in fog again. Is that true?
Well, it depends on where you were. I mean, Gino, it's a lose-lose.
Every year it seems like we're getting stuck in...
It does not. It is not every year. And last year, 2017, was amazing.
All right.
It depends on where you are. Hey, you know what? Fog happens.
Hey, that's it. We should put that on a bumper sticker.
Oh my God, you're right. I just made that up just now. That's my phrase. No.
All right.
Okay, so Coastal Resiliency Workshop. We have our second Coastal Resiliency Workshop. We are working on a Coastal Resiliency Plan, and our next workshop is Wednesday, July 18th at 6 p.m. at the Community Room at Fort Fairgrounds. It's going to be an interactive workshop, so if you're interested in coastal resiliency, please attend. We have another forum on Great Ponds on Monday, July 23rd at 5 p.m. at the Community Room. Natural Resources has been working on draft pond management principles, or pond management principles. They are in a draft form right now. And we'd love to get people to comment on them and participate. Again, another interactive forum. The principles are on the town website, easy to find. The landfill entrance is being reconfigured.
Again?
What do you mean again?
Well, you just did it. I was just over there yesterday.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
It's in the process of being reconfigured.
It looks good.
It's going to take a little getting used to, so be patient. It is meant to alleviate the traffic congestion that queues up on Matticat Road when they're for the busy times of the landfill. And so, mixed reviews right now.
Libby, whoever thought of the idea of, instead of pulling in closer to the the tanks, the bins, and go around, much better idea. I always wondered why people weren't just nabbing those, because it was holding up traffic. This will move things along.
So that's the hope, that it moves things along safely. Also, we introduced our new Chief Technology Officer. This is a new position. Karen McGonigal is our person in that position. She comes to us from the school department, and we're very happy to have her with us. We said goodbye to Jen Erickson, who was our police department IT coordinator, and she took Karen's place at the school. So good luck to both of them, and we're glad they're both still with the town. Okay, next board meeting is Wednesday, July 25th. We're on the summer schedule right now, and we've got 2 meetings in July, 2 in August at this time. Okay, we also, I'm going to just go over the big stuff. I'm not going to go over the little stuff besides those announcements.
Okay.
We had a couple of public hearings, nothing of terrific interest. Okay, here's the bigger things. We reviewed warrant articles for the special town meeting that's coming up on October 10th. We are going to have articles relating to marijuana. There will be zoning articles, there will be a general bylaw amendment, and the general bylaw amendment is going to relate to licensing, and also a limitation of recreational marijuana licenses to 2. You are allowed under the law to limit the number of licenses to a certain percentage of however many year-round all alcoholic beverages package store licenses that you have. Long story short, that rounds up to us for 2. So
2 out of how many package stores?
Gino, it's what?
It's a lot.
It's well, we have. Okay, so here's the thing: we have seasonal, all alcoholic, seasonal wine and malt, and we have annual all alcoholic and annual wine and malt. And I don't have the sheet in front of me. Those total a certain number. So it's based on the annual all alcoholic. So whatever 2 is out of 20% of the total, you could.
Okay, I got it.
It's Friday morning.
Who made that decision to just limit it to 2?
The board. Okay, so town meeting will ultimately vote on that, but that is what the board is going to put forward in an article.
I see. And town meeting could
town
say.
Meeting could vote differently.
I mean, 2 is like windfall for the 2 that get it. I mean, they're going to be, right?
I really don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. It's all seasonal? Brand new.
I know, but I'm just bringing this up because there's people, this is interesting.
Yeah.
What about seasonal? Is there a possibility down the road there could be seasonal?
I don't know
seasonal
what you mean.
pot.
No. There's no such thing as that.
No.
No, there's no difference between seasonal and annual. I'm just talking about the basis for the 20% number.
We're going to start with 2.
We're going to start with 2. You can always go higher.
Yep.
It's hard to go lower from higher than it is from lower to higher, if you follow.
Got it.
Anyway, that's what's going to be put forward at this point. Now, the warrant is not adopted yet. It's scheduled to be adopted on July 25th. We also have a couple of appropriations. We have several appropriations, but the big ones are going to be Old South Road corridor improvements split into 2 articles, one for Milestone Road improvements, one for Old South Road improvements. On the Milestone side, the Rotary is potentially going to be able to be funded through the state, but we need to express local support for it through a town meeting vote, and then it has to go through the state process. But fingers crossed that we would ultimately get state money for improvement of the Milestone Rotary. Those appropriations are going to be what's called debt exclusions. They will be subject to additional voter approval at the November election. Okay, so we're going to put these questions on the November election that we're having anyway through the state election.
So we're going back.
We will go back in. Again. We have to ask them 2 times, once at town meeting, once at an election, for this type of vote.
And Old South Road, what are we looking at for
We're looking at, I don't have the list in front of me again, and remember it's Friday morning. I can hardly remember anything on Friday morning.
Few ideas.
But there would be, I believe there would be intersection improvements, possibly including roundabouts at Airport Road and Old South. I don't remember about Lover's Lane and Old South, but something there. I believe there is a turning lane. There are median improvements. Now, some of the improvements on Old South Road are required to be paid for and done by the Richmond Group as part of their special permit process with the planning board. So the voters wouldn't be paying for those improvements, and those are in the process of being compiled, and they will be accepted by the select board sometime this summer, and then that work would be done in the fall. Mm-hmm. But these are above and beyond. These improvements are beyond.
Is there any chance that we'd see a roundabout near the Richmond development?
Well, I'm thinking we have a roundabout in the planning process at Old South and Fairgrounds right now.
Yeah.
and then this one that I'm talking about at Airport Road and Old South.
Yep.
I'm just not remembering.
Not sure about Lover's Lane.
Yeah,
in that
I'm just
area.
not sure. I'm not the transportation planner. Remember, I can't remember absolutely everything. Okay. I try, but it's.
But you really do try.
I really do try. And remember, it's Friday morning. So we have some other financial articles, but they're not controversial, I don't think. And we have one citizen article came in, which is basically to ban all single-use plastics. It's
Great.
the start of a conversation.
By the way, glad you brought it up. Cumbies, I know, they're not paying me to be a spokesman, okay?
Okay.
I went in there, they've got paper straws and the cups now.
Yeah.
The cups that you get are made of plant. They're spending the bucks.
They're made of what?
Plants.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know, they're
plant-based.
Yeah, plant-based.
Material. Mm-hmm.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
So that is great for them. It seems that this voluntary Stop the Straw campaign is really taken off, and there is a lot of compliance. There's a lot of focus on it. So that's amazing.
I went on the website to, they had the logo on the side of it. So
yep.
I went to the website and I saw how much each one costs. I mean, they're like 4 cents. Some of the packaging.
Yeah.
But they're plant-based.
Yeah.
I'll pay 4 cents more for my burger or whatever
Me too.
it is.
Yeah, absolutely. I pay 40 cents more. Yeah, of course. And you can get reusable straws too. Don't forget.
Even those, great.
Yeah. So that's all very, very positive. The full-on ban though of single-use plastics, I think, could be quite challenging to actually implement. You'd have to have a real, but it's at least a start of getting there, which we need to do worldwide. Yes. Okay, so then we had a discussion about a draft host community agreement for the siting of the recreational facility for Green Lady. Green Lady is a medical marijuana dispensary on Amelia Drive. They are not open yet. They're in the process of getting open, and they are now seeking a recreational use there. They have a ways to go to do that, and also we have a moratorium in place right now until the end of the year. And so to make a long story short, the host, all recreational marijuana facilities statewide will have to have a host community agreement with the town that they're in. And there are some specific sort of standard things that you would put in there, and then some of it is subject to negotiation with that group. So you can go up to 3% of, I think it's their gross revenue, gross sales, that can come back to the town and be used for specific types of things. So we are negotiating that. There's also a kind of a separate payment, a sort of a community benefit payment that we are negotiating with them. And that looks like it's between $25,000 and $50,000 in other communities. And there are some other things like that, as well as some requirements that will be in there as to how they will deal with odors, wastewater treatment, water use, energy use, things of that nature. So the board had a pretty lengthy discussion about these terms that are in the host community agreement, but we didn't finish it off, so it's coming back at the next meeting on the 25th. Meanwhile, we do have a couple of other groups seeking medical. You have to be medical before you can go recreational at this point.
How many groups are we talking?
Well, out there we have a group called Mass Medi-Spa. Okay, so I'm not really the marijuana expert, but I know a little bit about it. You need a letter, what's called a letter of non-opposition from your host community, or it could be a letter of support in order to get to the state licensing process. Or maybe you do the state licensing process first, but somewhere along the line you need this letter. The board gave Mass Medi-Spa a letter already in 2016, I believe it was. Maybe it was even 15. In any case, it might have been 15. They since did not use the location that they were seeking. So they have not formally come back to us yet with a new location. So they're sort of pending out there. We have another group pending out there called Act Natural, and someone else showed up at the board meeting this week. I forget their name, but they talked about how they want to apply as well. And I've heard of potentially another group kind of, I'm not going to say lurking, but kind of
so that's about
out
5
there
right now.
potentially. So we've established a checklist for everything that someone needs to do in order to get on the select board's agenda to start discussing this letter of non-opposition, which is the first step. Your medical also requires a host community agreement, so that needs to be in place as well. And so far, I'm double checking, but I'm not sure we've reached the completion of the checklist with anybody yet to bring them forward to the board, but it's likely to come very soon. And in any event, first of all, there's not a statutory time frame within which these things need to be acted upon. And secondly, they can't open right now anyway because of moratorium. So that is going on, and there's a lot to this. The host community agreement requires a lot of monitoring as to what the town is spending in connection with a facility, law enforcement, educational things, what's the impact on the community, that type of thing. We're going to have to develop a system to track those costs.
Well,
okay?
I mean,
so
it's not that expensive, is it?
Well, no, I don't think it is. But it's all brand new, and I'm not sure any of the towns have fully developed a system of tracking like that. And we don't want to reinvent the wheel or anything, but there's going to have to be a tracking system.
I mean, in your opinion, Libby, do you think that once we start this process and we get these medical and retail marijuana places open, that a lot more people are going to start smoking pot?
I really don't. I don't.
What have you thought about it?
Maybe. I really don't know.
I mean,
a lot more people can
start
that don't already.
If they want to smoke it, they usually find a way to smoke it. It's not that hard to find.
I'm not sure a lot.
Yeah.
Some, I would
imagine. But I mean, it's the idea to bring, I mean, these folks are thinking, they want to make some money on this, obviously. And so they're thinking, once we open, they will come. I'm sure some, of course, some will, but are they going to bring more people into the arena? I just don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not planning on it.
Yeah, I'm not really planning on it either. You know? But who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, I guess we will see.
We also had our annual water quality update from town departments. Several town departments have each water quality initiatives going on underneath them, so they talked about those. We talked about the 2019 annual town meeting. That will start on Monday, April 1st, 2019. And the calendar,
Already.
The calendar already. The calendar will be posted online shortly. We need to make a couple of minor changes to it. And so you'll see that when the citizen warrant article deadline is and when town council is available, we make town council available. Only town in the state, as far as we know, that does this, that makes their town council available to citizens for consultation as to warrant article ideas, or if they want him to review something. That happens generally on a morning session for a couple of hours and an afternoon session for a couple of hours. So that'll all be in the calendar. The board adopted a scope of work for a senior center feasibility study committee. That's a mouthful, but basically the Nantucket Center for Elder Affairs and the Council on Aging recently commissioned a senior needs assessment. And one of the recommendations that's come out of that is we should have a new senior center. The current one is older, run down. It's perhaps not in a good area. It's on Washington Street Extension, right? It's a nice spot, but it's very close to the harbor. And I think we probably all know at this point that over time, not too much time now, they are already experiencing the impacts of sea level rise and climate change with flooding, and so that's going to be a problem.
I think it's time not only for a senior center, but a YMCA center where seniors are.
Well, that is something that, not that term, but sort of a community-ish aspect to the senior center. So the scope of work will be on the website under Senior Center Feasibility Study Committee. Senior Center Study Committee for short.
I want to get involved on that. I'll be involved.
Okay.
Okay.
Great.
Count me in.
Okay.
Sign me up.
All right, Gino. Well, you're. Are you a senior citizen?
That's not funny.
But it's true.
I'm getting there.
I think you might be.
Please.
Okay, we'll stay away from that. But anyway, since you're probably going to be using the center soon, you probably do.
I think you can. Once you're 60, I think you're allowed to go there and eat for lunch. $3 lunches.
Yeah, I think you are.
And Kitty's puts them on.
Yes.
I hear they're unbelievable.
You're not going to need Meals on Wheels soon, are you? There's nothing wrong with Meals on Wheels. Great program.
Oh, absolutely. Anyway.
Okay, so that is going to be a group that gets together shortly. There are some, the board established the membership of the committee too. There's somebody from board, select board, somebody from FinCom, somebody from capital program committee, and then some people from the senior organizations. So that group, I imagine, will get going fairly soon.
Great.
Our other big thing was a comment letter from the board to the Zoning Board of Appeals in connection with the Surfside Crossing 40B project. There was some discussion about this at the board's last meeting. They wanted some revisions to the letter. We made those revisions, and the letter was ultimately adopted. And we will be sending it to the Zoning Board of Appeals very shortly, today maybe, or maybe it was already sent yesterday. And the board has also commissioned an independent traffic review at the Zoning Board of Appeals request and at the board itself's request. And we are probably going to be doing an independent water quality review as well. The issue right now is that we need to develop more of a scope for that, which it's dependent on a few other things that have yet to happen. So, but that's going to be happening as well.
Okay. Is there a reason why it got to this point? I mean, it's pretty obvious that putting more concentration of houses and people in that one area. I mean, if you drive down there today, I don't live over there, but when I do have to go there, it's horrendous as is. If you put another 150 houses in there, I mean, the traffic in that area, it's insane.
The density is a serious concern to a lot of people, not the least of which is town government, and what impact that will have on not just the roadway and traffic infrastructure, but the sewer system, the water system, the electrical system, which isn't town.
I realize we need it, but shouldn't we start thinking about some other places? I mean, we've got plenty of other
Gino,
areas.
there is a lot of work going on this. You know,
I know, but
people don't tend to pay too much attention to things until it's going to impact them directly.
You got that.
And right. So I'm not being critical at all, but there may be people who haven't been involved in affordable housing efforts until now.
Right.
And there's quite a history to read up on of what's already happened, what's been put forward and not happened, what is happening now and being put into place now. So the Affordable Housing Trust is a group that has both elected and appointed individuals on it from within the community. We're all in this one community and we all have concerns about it. And they are working very hard on this. We have a housing specialist, we have other housing groups. So if you're very interested in this, start by going on the town website and seeing what's out there. Go to an Affordable Housing Trust meeting. Talk to Tucker Holland, our housing specialist. He's extremely knowledgeable about all the efforts.
And he's very approachable.
Very approachable, yes. And he's very good at explaining things.
Yes.
So. Okay, so that was happening.
All right. Do we know, once it goes to the Board of Appeals, how long the process is going to take before
there is a specific time frame. I am not remembering right this second what it is, but again, you can call the ZBA's office, which is all on the town website, and find that out.
All right.
And go to the meetings. These meetings are public hearings, so.
Yeah.
The public is, the idea is to hear from the public about this. And some things can be addressed and some things cannot. So anyway, what else is going on? Okay, so the board's next meeting is July 25th. And right at the moment on that agenda, we have the special town meeting and warrant adoption. We're going to have the host community agreement for Green Lady again. We have the monthly town manager's report. Save Our Sound is coming in. That's a group that opposed the Nantucket Sound, the Cape Wind project. They opposed that. They're coming in to seek a letter of support for some draft legislation that has to do with where wind farms are located, I believe. Okay. We'll hear more from them when they come in. And that's what's happening in town government. What
about the beach? Let's get serious here now for a second.
The beach.
Okay. Yeah. How many times have you been in the water?
I think I've been in the water
Oh, you've got a calendar.
twice,
Oh,
maybe 3 times.
I haven't been in
Not-
yet.
Oh no, you're kidding.
I'm terrible.
Gino, you're a go after work, swim every day
I
type
know.
of person.
Believe me, I'm getting ready.
You need to get out there.
I'm
Today would be a
going to.
perfect day for you to start,
I can't. Too busy.
Gino.
Maybe later. Yeah, maybe.
You could go up
Okay.
till 7 o'clock at
Yeah,
night.
no, that's true. I'm going to do it.
I went paddleboarding today for the first time. I meant to
Wow.
get out there earlier, but
Is that a
it's
good
just-
workout?
Yes, I think. I went with a couple of other people, and we do a lot of chatting. So I wouldn't say we're working out, but I think that if you put your mind to it and you are, focused on it, yes, it's a good workout. It's fun. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Do you ever see anything floating out there? Like with dorsal fins or anything like that?
No, I
popping out
haven't
of the
seen
water?
anything like that.
Because you're up so high, it would seem like you could really see things.
Yeah,
better
it's
there.
not like that.
Okay.
But we saw an osprey this morning. I saw some little crabs in the water.
Okay.
Sometimes I see a big fish, not a shark, but
Right.
a biggish fish.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's some interesting things you sometimes see on people's boats early in the morning. Things people are doing.
You mean booze, or worse?
I better not say.
Why can't you say?
I think it would be inappropriate.
Oh no.
No, just things like they don't really know you're watching them, so they might
They think they're out there
by themselves.
Oh.
It's nothing bad.
Hey,
It's just
part of-
funny
It's
sometimes.
natural.
And then you
It's
sort of have to sort of go,
to let them
and
know
then
you're
to
around.
let them know you're around.
Okay.
You try to look out for that stuff ahead of time so you can sort of splash a bit so they know.
Sure.
I mean,
But
Anyway.
this will not stop you from paddleboarding, will it, Libby?
No, I don't see that. I really, I saw one thing.
I'm
one
going
time.
tomorrow.
No, it's great. I love it, and our harbor is so beautiful. There's a lot of boats out there, but
Yeah.
it's so
That's a fun
so
thing
beautiful
to do.
this
I
morning.
would like to. I'm going to try it. I haven't tried it.
Yeah, I can't believe you haven't tried it yet.
Oh, stick in the mud.
Well, you give it a try, and so that's that.
All right.
So get to the beach,
Yep.
and it's going to be a beautiful weekend, I think. So
Yes, it
hopefully
is.
everybody can get to the beach.
Okay.
Thanks very much. See you next time.